Have you ever just wanted complete and total silence? You know, a moment of real peace and quiet? Well, what we think of as silence, like a quiet room late at night, or that calm after a big storm, that's not really silence, not even close. Today, we're going to explore something else entirely. A silence so deep, so absolute, that it's not peaceful at all. Actually, it's terrifying.
Yeah, that's a pretty bold statement, but there's a good reason for it. See, the quietest place on Earth is this special room, an anechoic chamber, and it creates an environment so foreign that our brains just aren't built to handle it. So let's take a virtual step inside and find out why this perfect quiet isn't calming. It's designed to break you.
Okay, so first things first, we've got to bust this myth of what silence actually is. What you and I call quiet is really just a low hum of background noise. Think about it. Our brains evolved in a world that is constantly making sound. We actually rely on all that noise to keep ourselves anchored to reality.
And this really puts it into perspective. On the left, that's our everyday quiet. It's the hum of the fridge, traffic way off in the distance, the house settling. Our brain uses all that stuff to build a sort of map of the world around us. But on the right, that's absolute silence. In this room, sound is literally eaten by the walls. The noise level is measured in negative decibels. That means it's quieter than the threshold of human hearing. There's no echo, no reverb. It's a complete sensory void.
So I want you to imagine you're stepping into this room. That huge, heavy door swings shut behind you with a thud. And just like that, the world you know is gone. And those first few moments, they are a total shock to the system. So what is this place technically? It's called an anechoic chamber. The name literally means no echo. The walls, the ceiling, even the floor are all covered in these big foam wedges that are designed to absorb sound. Any noise you make just dies instantly. And the effect is immediate. When you talk, your voice just gets sucked out of your mouth. It doesn't bounce back at all. If you clap your hands instead of a sharp crack, you just get this weird, dull thud. Your footsteps make no sound. People who've been inside say the air itself feels heavy, almost thick, like you could feel it pressing in on you. So as the outside world just completely vanishes, your brain starts to panic a little. It's desperate for any kind of input, so it turns its attention inward, and it starts to tune into a brand new soundscape, the one that's been happening inside your own body this whole time. In this crushing, absolute quiet, your brain is frantically scanning for anything it can lock onto, and then it finds it. It finds something that it's normally supposed to filter out completely. All of a sudden, your heartbeat isn't just a feeling, it's a sound, a loud, thumping, intrusive sound. It becomes the only drumbeat in the room, and there's absolutely no escaping it. Right after you notice your heart, you become aware of your lungs. Every single breath you take sounds impossibly loud, like a big set of bellows working away right next to your head. And that's when the internal orchestra is complete. You can actually hear the high-pitched hiss of the blood circulating inside your own head. The chamber basically turns your body into a giant microphone, amplifying all the biological noises you were never, ever meant to hear. See, without that constant map of ambient sound, the brain starts to lose its bearings. It starts to malfunction. Your perception of reality begins to unravel, and it happens in some very predictable and very unsettling ways. It's like a chain reaction. First, your balance goes. Without the subtle echoes and sounds that tell you where you are in a room, you start to feel dizzy. Then, your brain might start making things up, phantom sounds, just to fill the void. After that, your sense of time gets all distorted. And finally, your own inner thoughts can become so loud they feel like they're being shouted. Most people have to sit down pretty quickly because standing just becomes too difficult without those sound cues. And those phantom sounds? People report hearing all sorts of things. Faint whispers, bells, a low hum. It's not because you're going crazy. It's your brain trying to create the data it needs to function. It's literally inventing stimulus because there isn't any. So how long can someone actually stay in there? Well, most people tap out in about 15 minutes. The official world record is just 67 minutes. Think about that huge gap. It really shows you just how mentally punishing this level of silence is. So why do we panic? Well, it taps into something ancient, something deep in our DNA. For our ancestors, total silence was a massive red flag. It meant a predator was hiding nearby, waiting. Or it meant you were completely alone, trapped. So your brain interprets the silence in that room as a major threat, and it kicks on your fight or flight response.
But this whole intense experience isn't just some weird curiosity. It actually tells us something really important about how our minds work. It forces us to completely rethink our relationship with noise. What this experience really shows us is that sound is more than just something we hear. It's a fundamental anchor for our consciousness. Our brain is constantly using that stream of background noise to ground itself in reality, to stabilize everything from our physical balance to our mood, even our sense of who we are. So the big lesson here is that the chamber doesn't break your brain by doing something to you. It breaks it by taking something away, a crucial piece that holds your perception of reality together. It proves that we're fundamentally connected to the world around us through sound. We need that noisy conversation to feel whole. And that leaves us with one final, kinda heavy question to think about. We always say we want quiet to escape the noise of the world. But this room proves that when you escape all that external noise, you can't escape yourself. You're left with just the raw, unfiltered sound of your own existence. So, what does it say about us that we find that sound so terrifying?